Hello there. Hope everybody's having the most wonderful day today. Welcome to the final week of the free web development bootcamp. It is remarkable to think that we've been doing this for a whole month now, and it is coming to an end. But remember, that doesn't mean that if you're catching this for the first time that this it's too late to start. Remember, all of this is self-paced. All of this is available recorded on YouTube. In fact, well, if you're joining for the first time, hi, my name's Ramon. My friend Jess and I are running these series of boot camps to help folks get started. And this one here is the free web development bootcamp based on free Codecamps materials. So you're going to find recordings of all of these live streams here on YouTube at youtube.com/@badwebsiteclub. You'll also find, if you need any help, if you want to chat with your fellow learners, you can go into the free Codecamp forum here at bit.ly BWC Bootcamp Forum. And finally, just grabbing some more links. And finally, oh, CSMT's here. Hello, CSMT. Good to see you. And finally, we've got our Discord channel. If you want to join us there, that's bit.ly BWC Discord invite. And for all of the links for all of these scheduled times, you'll find our schedule here at Bad Website Club Web Dev Bootcamp 2023. But what about today? What are we going to be doing today? Well, friends, let me tell you what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to be doing our next certification project. We're going to be building the product landing page project, and we'll be building a product landing page to market a product of our choice. So I'm just going to go ahead here. Let me actually drop that link into the chat so that if you all want to do this following along with me, you totally can. I do want to say, though, the purpose of today for the project is not to show you how to finish the project, but rather how I will apply my problem-solving skills to implement that project, to create my product landing page. Now, you don't have to do it the same as me. You don't have to do it in the same way as me. And in fact, if you have any tips or ideas on how you approach solving a project like this, I'd love to hear them. So please do feel free to do that. All right. With that said, let's hop right in. So let's look at our objective real quick. We're going to be building an app that is functionally similar to this one. Product landing page, freecodecamp.rocks. Let's find out. And I'm going to zoom in just a touch. Cool. So we've got trombones. We've got a nav bar here at the top, a header, a form to get started, some product features, a video of some folks playing a quintet playing trombones, some pricings, and a footer. And you'll notice, by the way, that as I scroll, the header stays stuck at the top. Great. Well, let's do all of that then. Fantastic. And the way that we're going to pass this certification is that we're going to have some user stories that need to pass. Let's just go through these real quick. We don't have to really take them all in, but rather just sort of I would say, skim them and see what feels good, what doesn't, and all of that. So we've got our product landing page should have a header with an ID header. Our header should have an image with the corresponding header image ID. A logo would make a good image here. Within the header element, you can see a nav element with a corresponding nav bar ID. 3 clickable elements inside the nav element, which use the class nav link. When you click on each of the nav links, you should be taken to the corresponding section of the landing page. There should be an embedded product video with ID equals video. Our landing page should have a form element with the corresponding ID of form. Should be an input field with ID email where you can enter an email address. Email input should have placeholder text to let users what the field is for. Should use HTML5 validation to confirm that the entered text is an email address. And if you remember from our quiz and registration page, we've actually done this before. Submit input with the corresponding ID submit. When we click on the submit element, the email is submitted to a static page. Use this mock URL. That's going to be our, what's it called? Oh, gosh, I can't remember what the name for the destination of a form is. That's why we can look stuff up. Our nav bar should always be at the top of the viewport. We saw that with the sticky header. Our product landing page should have at least one media query, and it should use Flexbox at least once. We'll fulfill our user stories and pass all the tests to complete this project. Give it your own personal style. Happy coding. Be sure to add this link to our CSS in my HTML so that I can link the style sheet and apply my CSS. So those user stories are also going to be reflected and expanded upon with these tests that you see here. So these sort of like Flask icons with these texts are just checks that FreeCodeCamp will do to make sure that our code passes. If I run my test now, of course, it's not going to pass. You can see they get a little X next to them. Cool. Now I've got two files here, our index and our styles, both of which are empty. So I'm going to just dive right in and start writing some HTML stuff we've done before. We need our doc type, if I could spell. There we go. My goodness. HTML tags. And our head. And our body. Great. Let's format that so it's a little bit more evenly arranged. Now, inside our head, we'll have, oh gosh, now I need to come up with a product to market. Let's go with, sorry, give me one. I should have thought of this before doing this project. Washi tape. If you don't know it, washi tape is decorative tape. I love it. Cool. So we're going to have washi tape. We will need a meta char set equals to UTF-8. Self-closing. Meta. I think that's it, actually. Oh, no, we need that. What is it called? Viewport? Meta value? Let's do that. Meta viewport responsive. MDN. CCNT says washi tape is great, right? I love washi tape. See, that's what you get when you're live and I'm lacking imagination. I'm like, washi tape. Cool. So here we've got a meta viewport tag, which is exactly what I wanted to use. Perfect. There we go. Whew. So that's our meta done. And we need to link our CSS. Link rel equals style sheet. And the ref is going to be styles. How is it again? Is it styles or style? Styles. CSS. Amazing. Cool. So looking at this specification, I'm kind of just from a bird's eye view, noticing a couple of things that I'll need. First of all, we're going to need that header. I'm just trying to divide this like from the top down, you know? So we've got our header. Then we're going to have our section with, let's call this ID. Let's give this the ID of, I don't want to call it hero. Let's call it, so, you know, for the, oh, hold on. For the top. But I want to structure this completely differently. Let's say at the very top, I want to have sort of like, you know, a title for washi tape, a picture of washi tape. Yeah, title and a picture. So let's go with, actually, hero makes sense. Great. We'll have a section for we'll have the video and then the sign up. We'll call this tutorial section get started. I am really just coming up with stuff on the go here. Great. So let's start with our hero. And in order to do that, let's go to Wikipedia and get some images of washi tape. Actually, no, I don't want to do that from Wikipedia. I need a place to get free stock images. I'm just doing that on a separate page real quick. Washi, separate window, pardon me. Just trying to find a free stock photo of washi tape. Fantastic. Great. So I have found one now. So how do I link it here? Actually, do you know what? I will use wikipedia.org. Washi tape. Do we have some washi tape here in Wikipedia? Maybe I shouldn't stress too much with this just yet. Washi tape. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too ahead of myself. Let's just put here our H1. Washi tape. And already I'm seeing that this is looking good. I would actually love to get ahead of myself and start using some fonts here. So I'm going to go over to fonts.google.com. And what would make... Ooh, let's look at our categories. Let's see, display. I think display is going to be what I want to use here. Let's see what fonts we have. Something that says washi tape. What says washi tape here? How about... Ooh, fancy. I like this handwriting. See, I'm thinking something like handwriting, but maybe a little bit less difficult to read. Season T says there's no Wikipedia page for washi tape. I know, right? I'm kind of digging... Yep, this stream is now going to be me picking fonts, which I'm terrible at, by the way. I struggle a lot with picking fonts, which is why I probably shouldn't spend too much time with this and pick something that just feels right. Kind of liking this one. Oh, actually, it's got bubblegum in the name. I'm down. Cool. So, yeah, that's how quickly you can make... Oh, I don't want to download that font. I want to link it here. Yeah, let's go with regular 400. Fonts are hard. I know, right? So I'm going to grab these links real quick. Oh, I think I still have Nova here. Well, I'll come back to you. Actually, we might need a font for our text and our lower down headers. Though I think all of our headers can have this one. I don't know. When I'm making websites, I like to have at most 2 fonts. Just a personal preference. Let's go with sans serif. No, serif. That's it. So let's see. What's a nice... something... Oh, kind of like this one. Yeah. Why make things more complicated than they should be and just grab one? Amazing. Cool. So there's my 2 fonts. Now I'm going to go ahead and select the 2 of those. I'm going to drop those style sheets in here. So we're good. Now we've got access to our fonts in our style sheets, and we can already start applying some styles. The first thing I'm going to do is do that thing that we were doing in our other projects, which was to reset all of our padding, margin, and box sizing. I already forgot how that goes. Let's go back to MDN real quick. Box sizing. Is it bounding box? Border box. Yeah. To count. Yeah, exactly. Border box. Remember that this lets us count the border as part of the size of every element in our HTML. So we'll start with our H1 having the font family of, I already forgot the name. It was called Bubblegum Sans. Let's just bring that over a little bit. Don't think I'll need the instructions for a while. Bubblegum sans, comma sans serif. Remember that we want to have a fallback in case we can't load our Google font. Maybe Google Fonts is down. Go figure. It's good to be on the safe side. Fantastic. So I'm going to have our washi tape. It's going to have a font size of, let's say, 1.5 rem. How's that looking? Maybe too big, huh? Let's go with a 3. That looks good. Let's text align center. And look at that. We're already off to the races. Now, this will need some margin. So I'm going to give that a vertical margin of 1.5, 1 rem, and 0. Horizontal margin. Great. So that is our hero. Still need to do our header. In fact, you know what? I'm going to take a quick moment to check how our tests are going. I know I haven't done much yet. In fact, oh, look at that. The ID of the header element should be header. It's a good way to guide me as I'm going. Great. So we should have an image element. We're not doing that yet. Nav bar. Yeah, we still got a lot of stuff to do. Let's put a little subtitle here in our, in our hero. Let's give this a little slogan. Washi tape. Stick some joy on your crafts. Look, I'm not in marketing. I'm sorry. Great. Let's give that the nice font too. So we'll have an H2 here. Actually, I might copy most of this. Paste. But of course, the font size does need to be smaller. Let's give that a 2. Great. Well, slightly reduced margin as well. 0.75 rem. Amazing. That's already looking much better. I'm very happy with that. So that's our hero. We still need an image and stuff, but one thing at a time. So we'll skip the header real quick. Let's see what else we need. We need an embedded product video, a form. Actually, we can look here. We got our tutorial, which is the video, and our get started, which is the form. Cool. We need a video. I'm going to go on YouTube on a separate tab real quick and see if I can find washi tape. Washi tape on YouTube. No commentary. I might. I'm so sorry, everyone. Just gonna check for. Yeah, sure. Let's embed this lovely 10 things to do with washi tape video from Audrey's jar in here. So how do we embed a YouTube video? Now, if you go into YouTube, washi tape speedrun. Washi tape speedrun? What's that? Oh. Gotcha. So on YouTube videos, for example, you should have a way to embed YouTube videos, which is really cool. So if you go on the share button, I think, how did we do this? There used to be a way to embed YouTube videos. How to embed YouTube videos. I'm just doing this on a separate tab to be on the safe side, but I think we should be good with this video here. Great. So if I go to the share button here, there we go. So every YouTube video should have an embed button here, which we can start at 0. We can even, oh, look at this. We have embed. Oh, sorry. Let me make this a little bit larger. I hope that's okay. So what's cool about this is you can also, for example, enable privacy enhanced mode, which definitely a fan of that. Great. So we can copy this, link copy to clipboard. If I come back here, I should be able to embed that YouTube video in here. Amazing. But remember, our YouTube video needs ID set to, see now I wish I'd made, whoops, I accidentally opened the dev tools. Where was I? Here. Remember, our ID does need to have an embedded product video with ID equals video. Amazing. Cool. So far, so good. We've got our embedded YouTube video in our tutorial. Perfect. We will also need our form as well as our nav bar. Let's give this a nice H2 just to sort of like distinguish that section of the video. So H2, here's some fun washi tape ideas. Great. We'll also need, right, our get started form. But you know, I don't know if I want to call it get started anymore. I think I want to just like sign up for updates. So let's say register. Curious to sign up to hear when we're in stock. Sign up to hear when we're in stock. Cool. Nothing super fancy, pretty straightforward landing page so far. We'll also need our form. So let's get right on that. Now our form is going to have an ID of form as well as a submit. What's that destination for a form called? Let's find out. Going back to MDN real quick. Action. That's the URL I was looking for. So every form has an action. That's what I wanted. And that is going to be this one here, using this mock URL. Okay, this is looking a little bit cluttered, so I'm just gonna quickly hide my preview for just a moment, just so I can focus on the code. So this input is going to be type email. Name is going to be email as well. And the ID is also going to be email. Now you might be wondering, why are we repeating ourselves? Remember, one is the type of input that we'll have on our form. The other one is the name of the key or the name of the data that we're going to send to our server when we submit our form, which we don't need to worry about the server just yet, not relevant for this bootcamp. And this third one is for when we want to style it, which we might, or identify it through JavaScript, or because this is an accessible website, it's to match it with our label. Enter your email address. And of course, our input type email also needs a placeholder. Now, a placeholder is going to be placeholder text that is shown to the user, but just to give them an idea of what to be able to put in. So, for example, I'm going to put Ramon at example.com. Cool. That should be our form. Let's take a look at that preview again. Yep. Nothing super duper fancy just yet, but we'll do some styling later. So the last thing to do, and I notice how I saved it for last, for now, is I'm going to add our header. So our header is going to have an image in it. We still need to come up with an idea for an image. We'll figure that out in a moment, but it does need to have an ID of header-img. And it does need to have a nav bar. So I'll add a nav there. I'm going to make this disappear for a moment again so I have some more space. Cool. So nav with a corresponding ID of nav bar. And each element inside there will have an unordered list with a series of list items, each of which is a link. Hold on. There we go. A ref. And then we're going to link each of those to each of our sections. So let's start with our first one, #hero. And the text should be home, I would say. I'd say that's a pretty straightforward thing to write. Our next one is going to be a tutorial, which we will call tutorial. And finally, we're going to have our register, which we're going to call here register. Great. That should do it for our nav bar. Let's take a look and see if it works. There's our tutorial register. And clearly we're going to need some more space here, but it is getting there, which is great. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add some more content, but because I'm not really ready to write out all of my stuff just yet, I'm actually going to write out some text with a text generator. We've seen these a little bit before, these lorem ipsum. I want to see if there's a fun one I can use. Say, for example, I know of one called Cupcake Ipsum. Hold on. Zoom in a little bit. So this is so we can use this website called Cupcake Ipsum to generate placeholder text, but just give it a little bit of a more fun spin. Let's have a couple paragraphs here. Make them short. How short is short, by the way? It's a little short. Let's make them a little longer. Great. So this way we'll have some placeholder text with just a little bit of sweetness to it. And so let's just drop a couple of those paragraphs around here. For example, some washi tape ideas. Let's put this paragraph below our tutorial video. Sign up to hear more. We might want one here in our hero as well. Cupcake Ipsum. Yes, please. Thank you. Great. I'm going to be honest with you, friends. The biggest reason I'm doing this is just to have a little bit of space so that I can try my links again. Amazing. Actually, do you know what? I just realized our form is missing a submit button. Button type submit. Register. There we go. Now we've got a register button. Great. So I'd say we're almost there. The last thing we're missing now is an image. Stock images. Just gonna look that up here on the side real quick. Unsplash. Stock images. So how can I get an image of washi tape? Just gonna try one of these free resources. Give me one moment, friends. I'm very sorry. So I think I'm going to use Unsplash, which is a free stock image resource. Of course, we need to check that our images we are allowed to share these images. So I'm just going to look up washi tape here. It gives me some options. I'm liking this one. So let's see what the licensed under the Unsplash Plus license. So we can download once, use it unlimited times. Photo credit not needed, though attribution is appreciated. We'll give attribution. Sensitive topics, cool. Digital templates, AI, no, we don't want any of that. I just want to use the image itself, which I see here. Let's use this image as is. It's going to have the Unsplash template, and that's mostly I'm not going to download it just because we're building this directly in Free Code Camp resources. But if you make your own website, I'd recommend downloading it and giving the proper attribution anyway. So let's give that a try. It's probably going to be a giant mess. So let's give our ref here. So that doesn't seem to have worked, mostly because I probably shouldn't be doing it like this. But rather, how could I'd love to grab this image. Share, maybe? Copy link? Copy link? Yes, please. Does that work? Let's give that a try. It's not quite working. Do you know what, friends? What I would recommend is to download this image, and when you're working on this on your own site, not here in Free Code Camp, but if you ever make your own website, you can download it there and make your own attributions there. I think for now, mostly because I don't want to waste all of your time with this, I'm going to reuse the Free Code Camp logo, which I believe we did here in the magazine. Oh, that's a bit of a big Free Code Camp logo. I think it was in the piano project that we had a smaller one. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. I know it's not the most fun way to do this, but I just want to make sure that I'm not keeping you all from the fun stuff we could be doing with this project. So can I reuse this? Oh, David says, I usually right-click it to open a new tab and copy the URL. I did try that, but I think it's because it's a special URL that, there's a bunch of server-side things or something. I couldn't really get that in, which is fine. We can just use a random logo for now. When I'm making a real product page, I'm going to make my own logo. So for now, I'm going to use the Free Code Camp logo, which is totally fine. So let's do that. ID. header img. Now, of course, right now it's invisible because it's a white image. It's a white text on transparent background. So we'll fix that in a moment. Also, we need to make it much smaller. Cool. So let's see how we're doing with these tests, shall we? Because we've done a lot. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we've done a lot. So header's done. Cool. Header img is done. Source attribute. Navbar header. So we should have 3 navlink elements. So I think I forgot here to give each of my links the class navlink. CSMT says, fun fact, Unsplash actually prefers you to hot link so that it counts towards the artist's view count stats. Really? Can you show me how to do that? Hold on. I'd love to hot link. This is Unsplash, right? Yeah. Oh, cool. Cool. I'd love to do that. Let's inspect. No, that sounds like the wrong way to do this. Because I can open the image in a new tab. I've got it here. But how do I... Maybe I was doing something wrong with my image? Let me try one more time, friends. I was doing it wrong. Oh, David, Cesium, I'm sorry. I messed up. I love this much more. Oh, amazing. Cool. So there's my ginormous image. We will fix that in just a moment. Thank you both. Thank you. So couple things. First off, we need to give credit. How do I give that credit? How do I give credit in collaboration? Let's copy this link. Image from Natalia. Was it Bluth? Oh, Cesium says I usually do the same thing that David said. Just right click on the image and copy image link. Thank you. I don't know why I got nervous and messed that up. Blouth. Natalia Blouth. Perfect. Great. But wait, that's my alt. That shouldn't be in the alt. We'll change some stuff here. This alt should be 3 washi tapes stacked on one another. If I could spell correctly. We'll give the credit to the image here in the footer. Yep. Washi tape image from we'll have a link there. Try that again. We'll have a link here. Natalia Blouth on Unsplash. Is it Unsplash or Unsplashed? Unsplash. And I need a paragraph here, of course. There we go. Perfect. Great. Whew. Okay. I can breathe again. Class is set to be nav link. And class is set to be nav link. I should link to the footer, huh? One thing at a time. Let's run our tests. See how we're doing so far. So, nav links look good. Got a video, have a source, form, input, email should be descendant, email should have a placeholder, should use HTML5 validation. You might be wondering, like, wait, we didn't do anything with validation. That's what happened when we put the input type to email. Our browser is smart enough to know, like, this expects an email address. We should have an input element with an ID of submit. I have a button here, but it seems that the project wants us to have an input with type submit with an ID of submit and a value of register. That way, it's going to look pretty much the same, if I'm not mistaken. Let's give it a try. Yeah. And they are pretty equivalent, I would say. Submit should have a type of submit. Let's run our tests again, see how we're doing. Yeah, well, friends, we are almost there because now is time to do some CSS. So our navbar should always be at the top of the viewport. Our product landing page should use at least one media query and use Flexbox at least once. Cool, we can do that, no problem at all. So what we're going to do here is we're going to close our instructions, open our styles, close our CSS, our HTML, pardon me, and open up our preview. So let's get to work. Actually, I might need my HTML after all. Sorry. I want to keep it there so I can remember what the IDs are. So let's start with our header image. Now we want to make it a lot smaller. So we'll go with width set to 300 pixels. How's that? Look at that. That's much better. But I think we can make it even narrower. Let's make it 100 pixels. If I could type correctly. I like that more. I think that's a good solid size. The next thing I want to do is have the washi tape and the links next to each other. So we're going to make the header into a flexbox. So now we can see they're already next to each other. This makes me a lot happier. We're also going to use a we're going to align items along the center. That way the nav bar and the links are next to each other. The image and the links are side by side. We will justify items space between. Did I do something wrong? Is it justify content? It is justify content. I make this mistake every time. Cool, that's already looking better. I want my unordered list in here. So our nav UL to use list. I already forgot how this goes. List style. Let's go into MDN. List style type. See, read my mind. Let's have. Do you know what? Interesting. You can have emojis. Oh no, you can have emojis. Bad idea. Bad idea. Let's go with none. Exactly. List style type set to none. And I want to put them in line with each other. So I think, is it inline list or something? List inline. Inline list. Inline dash list. List style. I kind of want to have them next to each other. How does that go? I might have to look this up. UL list next inline. Yep. How to style the UL list into a single line. That is exactly what I'm going for. Compact, type, usage notes, result, nesting a list, unordered list, inline. No, not quite. Oh, Can you just do display inline on the li elements? That's probably the ticket, isn't it, Cesium? Thank you. So nav link display inline block inline. Oh, that's the links. You know what? I messed this up. I want this to be nav ul li. Yeah. Actually, we're gonna have them be in line. What if I just make the ul into a flexbox? I just want to do this with flexbox. Don't ask me why. I think it feels better. So we'll make that display flex. We'll make this. Let's give them a gap because they're kind of actually. What if I justify content? Content space even? Oh, hold on. Probably not going to go all the way around, huh? We're going to do a little bit of background debugging here. Yeah. Cesium says that's how we did it in one of the sessions with Flexbox. Yeah, it just felt a little better, you know? Like, I don't think inline is wrong. I think Flexbox just gives me a little bit more flexibility. I might just give them a gap. Gap 10 pixels. That actually feels a lot better already. Now, cool. Home tutorial and register. Cool. And that should scroll me down. Now I need to make it sticky. What was it? I think it's like display position fixed. Position. Let's look it up here. Fixed. That's it. Position fixed. So the nav bar needs to be position fixed. Catfish says, Flexbox giving the flexibility? Who would have thought? Yes, well said. Amazing. So that kind of worked, but now it's like everything's stuck together. Maybe this needs to be... Oh, hold on. The nav bar is I don't want the nav to be position fixed. That's my bad. I want the header to be position fixed. Position fixed. Well, it kind of works. It is at the top. How about... Oh, Cesium says, I think the keyword might be space evenly instead of space between. Space even. That makes a lot of sense. I forget every time. Thank you, Cesium. So we're nearly there. Well, for some reason, now everything's smushed together. I'm going to use my handy-dandy background color red debugging method to see. Yeah, it's not filling up the full space. So what we're going to do is set the width to be 100%. Already better. We're going to, because it's fixed position, I want to set the top to be 0. That way it's stuck at the top. Nearly there. I need to get rid of my background color red. Great. And next we'll need to push our hero down. So margin top. Let's ballpark this. How about 3 REM? Let's see. Whoa, not even close. 9 REM. Whew. So now we can see we're scrolling happily through, but it's still kind of like bleeding through, so that doesn't quite work. And one thing that I've been wanting to do is to give the nav bar a background color that matches this photo. So on macOS, there is a built-in app called Digital Color Meter that lets me hover my mouse over a part of an image, for example. And I'm so sorry that I can't show you all this, but it's called Digital Color Meter. And I'm sure on other operating systems, there must be different ways of like hovering your mouse. I think there's even browser extensions that let you do this. Hover your mouse over a part and get a color from there. So I've just copied the color from this part of this image, which gives me this color in case you're curious. And what I'm going to do is make our header have this color as a background color. Background color. Boom. Now, it's not going to win an award for the most, let's say, cleanest cut color, but I kind of like it. It works. Cool. So this header looks like it needs a little bit of padding. I don't know about the rest of you. So let's give it some padding. How about 1 rem? Great. That means we're going to need to add another rem here for our margin. Look at that. That's already looking significantly better. You can see the image doesn't quite fit. In fact, I might cheat and give the image a border, and that way it's part of the design. Let's give it our border a let's give it a grayish color. How about solid 2 pixels? And I want to go with full black, but how about let's give it all 7s. Yeah, let's give it a bit of a border radius of how about 10 pixels? Look at that. Now it looks like it's by design. Cool. Cool. Now we need to. So, how to turn a bug into a feature volume 2. Make it part of the design. Catfish, right on the money. Cool. So that's that. We need. I want to style our links a little bit. Like our nav links look a little bit HTML-y, I believe is the technical term. So what we're going to do here in our, where's our nav styling? Here we go. nav.nav-link. And I want to give these a color of, actually, do I want to be consistent and try that gray? Hashtag 77777. I love it. I know. Thank you. It's good. It's not quite working. So tell you what, now we've got 2 777s. Let's extract. This is called refactoring. Extract a variable. So let's call this header text color. And let's make it, instead of all 7s, let's make it a bunch of A's. Of course, it has not applied yet. Pardon me. It's not applied yet. So what I'm going to do is use that color here instead. So var header text color. Does that look better? That looks worse. We'll fix it. var header text color. Yeah, that doesn't quite work. I'm going to make it darker, of course. If I make the values higher, it's going to be closer to white. So what I actually want is to make it lower. Let's make it all 4s. 6. Can I count? 1, 2. So 44 red, 44 green, 44 blue. That's better, but I'm not quite happy. Let's go with a bunch of 25s. Actually, I have the power here. What if I make this a dark purple? I do love purple. Yeah, let's make this a dark purple. Perfect. Great. Now let's make our nav link. Let's make our nav links a little larger. So let's say the font size should be 2 rem. Too big? Way too big. 1 rem? 1.5 rem. And what was my second font again? Slabo 27 pixels. Yeah. So I'm going to make all of my other text have this. So let's say because our H1 and our H2 have that font. So let's make A, P, L, I, A, P, L, I. What other pieces of text are there? Span, A, P, L, I, span. My mind is completely blank. Let's go with that for now. They will have a font family of Slabo 27 or serif. Oh, 27px, my bad. Am I doing that wrong? What is the name of the font? Hold on a minute. Let's go back here. Ah, it's with quote marks. My mistake. So quote marks. Quote marks. Consistency is key after all. Seasum says might need quote around the name. Absolutely right. Thank you so much. There we go. Getting there. Much better. Very happy. The other thing is the gap between the nav stuff is a bit narrow. So how about let's make that gap a little larger. Gap. Here we go. Let's make it 20 pixels. 30. Yeah, I like that. Whoops, should not be messing with that, should be messing with this. So now we've got the problem that when the screen is a bit small, this is going to like smush away. So what I would like to do, this is going to be a bit tricky, is so that when the viewport is however large this is, the image will be on top and the links will be below. And this is actually not too difficult to do because what we're going to do is a media query. So media query, only screen, and min width will be, let's say 400 pixels. Let me just get rid of this. So when our screen is this big, when it's bigger than 400 pixels, only then will our header have a flex box. Oops. Let's clean that up just a touch. So, still too narrow. Let's say 600 pixels. Getting there. So otherwise, let's text align center. Getting there. Actually, I want both the image and the nav bar to have left and right automatic margins in small screens. So let's go with header img and our nav bar. What is it called? Nav dash bar? Nav dash bar. Have margin of left auto and margin right auto. Right? Does that work? Doesn't seem to. I do wonder why. Let's do background debugging to find out why. See, this is a full width. That's why. But what about the image? Header-img. Header-img. Where am I using that header-img? Width, border, and border radius. Why does my header-img not float to the middle? Let's think. Margin left auto. Text align center. That doesn't seem right. Navbar text align center. Tricky. I know we're past the hour, by the way. Sorry, friends. Let's tell you what. Oh, season 2 images are inline by default, right? Thank you. Display block. That'll do it. We're almost there. Tell you what we're going to do. Give me 2 seconds. Let's check our tests now and see how it's looking. Everything's passing. Let's pat ourselves on the back. Pat, pat. And I just want to tune this up just a little more. So, display flex. Now, the problem is, of course, now it's going to have different sizes on big and small screens. But we can fix that. Shouldn't be a problem. Let me just take this hero stuff and move it up here. And y'all will see what I'm going to do. So, first of all, I need some more gap between these. So, margin left, margin right, display block. And the where is our navbar? Yes. It shouldn't be space even anymore. It should be space evenly. Oh, that's what you meant. Thank you, Cesium. Y'all are too patient with me. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Let's give this a margin top of 1 rem. There we go. Nice and evenly spaced out. And our hero is going to need a margin top of, let's say, 12 rem. Let's say 15. Cool. So on smaller devices, it's going to look like this, but back in larger ones, it's going to look like this, but we still need to fix all of this. So that's what we're going to do next. So let's go all the way down here, move our media query down here, and start fixing it up again. So first of all, our image and navbar are going to reset. In bigger screens, they're going to have their, hold on, the header img is going to go back to being display inline. The margin left is going to be set back to 0. Margin right is going to be set back to 0. Great. Now this is not displaying correctly again. That's because, oopsie, sorry. That's because in a small screen, it's filling up the full width, but here it's not. So I'm going to have our navbar have a full width. Yeah, I like that. Now, one more thing I want to do, because y'all are noticing that because I reset all of my CSS, everything is like super stuck to the sides. So just to be on the safe side, let's give each header and section the same padding of, let's say, 2 rem. Much better. We'll give them a space in between. So margin bottom of another 2 rem. And that just makes things look a little bit cleaner. So in the big screens, the top, the padding at the top is a bit much. So we're going to have our hero have a margin top of, let's say, 10 rem. Much better. Amazing. So that's it. That's my Oh, can we center the YouTube video? If that's okay, everybody. Video. Now I have no... Oh, is it going to be as simple as margin left, I hope? So margin is going to be 0 vertical. Actually, let's give it 1 rem vertical. And auto horizontal? No. Could it be because it's inline? Display block? I am not going to forget this tip. Thank you so much, Cesium. Looking good. You are too kind. It looks okay. Actually, oh. I might reuse my dark purple for my headers. So H1, H2 are going to have the color set to be var. And hold on a minute. You know what? This color, it's a bit of a misnomer now. Header text color is not quite right because it's also a bit of a misnomer, like a wrong name also for this border. How about we call this, give it a nice semantic meaningful name, like highlight color. I think that's a little bit better. But of course, I need to go and reuse that here. Highlight. And where's my other? Here we go. Highlight. And our H1 and H2s are going to use that highlight color. Yeah, I don't know. That looks a little bit nicer, a little bit more consistent with our theming. Cool. So one more thing I'm going to do, because I would love to share this with all of you, I'm going to put it up on CodePen, which I believe I did here. I already have an account. And I'll post that in Discord. I can't post it in the forum because, of course, that would go against the free code camp rules. But I can definitely put it here. So pen. So the first thing I need is to have some stuff for the head. So I'm going to take all of the stuff from my HTML head. There we go. Which is going to be our viewport, our char set, and our title and our Google fonts. Not the styles, because those are written in CodePen. Boom. Save and close. Great. Next, I'm going to take everything inside my body, not the body itself, all of the contents of the body, and put those in my CodePen. Almost there. And finally, take all of my CSS, copy, and paste them here. And there we go. Now I've got a nice shareable link. If you all want to play around with that, you totally can. I would recommend doing it on your own so that you can get a good feel for how it works. Folks, please feel free to write in questions if you have any as well. I kind of just went at this tutorial and didn't really leave space for questions. I'm sorry. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Otherwise, I'll post this solution in the Discord. And I'll ask you to please, if you're on the Discord already, go into the Web Dev Projects channel and post your solutions. Give each other feedback. Happy to give some feedback too if y'all want some. So there's my solution. I will once again paste that Discord link into the chat. Join us on Discord. Otherwise, we are done with our project. Congratulations. That is the second last project in the last week of this bootcamp. Let's take a quick look at what's going on later today and tomorrow. So tomorrow, we'll be joined to do some CSS animation by building a Ferris wheel. Let me just bring up the... Where is... I don't think I have my schedule here. Web Dev Bootcamp. Week 5. Here we go. So we're done with our project now. Later today, in about 8 hours or so, we're going to have the wonderful folks from Couchbase to do a partner session. Don't miss that. Tomorrow, we're going to do the animation project. Also, so that's at 7 UTC. 3 hours after that, we're going to have our guest session with Phil Hawksworth, who's going to teach us introduce us to Netlify and our second Couchbase partner session of the week. On Wednesday, we're going to do the Penguin, have our last Couchbase partner session. Then on Thursday, we're going to do our final project, and then we're done with the bootcamp. And on Friday, we'll relax with a nice social closing party. So we're almost there. As Cesium puts it, we're almost there. Congrats, everybody. If there are no questions, I'll let you all go have a most amazing, joyous day. I'm going to post my solution on Discord. I would encourage you to do the same. But I also would encourage you to just take it easy. We're going through this bootcamp real fast. So remember to give yourself some space to breathe. Remember to give yourself some space to make mistakes, have fun, experiment. I love experimenting. But that's enough of me blabbering on. I'll let you all go. Take it easy. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.